Hey everyone, in this video, we are focusing on multi-step inequalities and we're going to put them in desmos. This is going to make it so much easier. Desmos gives you your answer. All I say is that you realize what we have in front of us. So look at our answer choices. You see how they have our inequality sign in them? Hopefully you do. When we see ones like this, we're going to do them as follows. We're going to type them into our Desmos just as we would an equation. Okay? So just imagine this right here being an equal sign instead of an inequality sign when we first start. Okay? So we always type in the side with the variable. Our side with the variable is right here, the 3t minus 12. Let's type that in. And you can just watch me for this first one if you would like. And then we just hit enter, just like when we see an equal sign, we hit enter. Okay. Now, what letter do we have? The variable is t. So we're going to write t equals, and we're going to try our answer choices here to see which one gives us -9, either 1 or -7. Okay, let's see. 1. 1 gives us the -9. So now that we know that, we can actually cross out this here and this here. It has to be between A and C. Okay. So now let's look at the variable. Find your variable. We have a 3t. Is it +3 or -3? It is +3, which means if we were to solve this, our final step would be to divide by that +3. So do we flip our sign? No, we do not. Our final answer would match this sign that we already have here because we're not flipping it. Once again, let me repeat myself. Okay, this is a +3t. So if we solve this, if we added 12 on both sides, and then we got 3, right? And so it'll be 3t is less than or equal to 3. At the end, our final step will be to divide by a positive number because a +3 is beside the t. So all we're doing is typing this in our Desmos. We're going to find out what the actual answer is, which is 1. Okay. And then we find the variable. And if a negative number is beside the variable, we flip the sign. If it's a positive number beside your letter, the sign stays the same. So the one that matches the sign is letter C. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense, but we're going to keep practicing. Okay, so now we have another one on our screen, and we're going to do the same thing. Find the side with the variable. The side with the variable r is over here. Okay, let's go ahead and type that in Desmos just as we would do an equation. So we do r minus 10 plus 3r. And now that we see the equation sign or the inequality sign, we hit enter. And we want our final answer that pops up in this triangle right here to equal +2. So our answer choices are either -2 or +3. Okay, so let's say R equals, and I see -2. Do we get +2 for our answer? Nope, we get -18. Now let's try +3. Do we get +2? Yes, we do. So we can go ahead and get rid of A and D. Let's cross that out. All right, so now we have to choose which one is it? Is it B or is it C? So the only thing that's different between these two is the signs, the inequality signs. This one says R is greater than, and this one says R is smaller or less than. So let's see which one it is. First, we have to figure out what is beside our R. Is it a positive number or a negative number? Well, first of all, we have two different R's. So let's go ahead and combine our like terms. We have a +3r and we have a +r. But remember, we could put a 1 with that, right? So once we combine our like terms here, we have 4r. We can stop right there. We only want to combine our variables, okay? Our terms with the variables here and here. And then we look at this. Is this a positive or -4? I already said it 2 times. It is a +4. So at the end, if we solve this by hand, we will be dividing both sides by a +4. When we multiply or divide by a negative number, we flip the sign. but this is a positive number. So our sign stays the same. So which one of these signs match the sign up here? Letter C. Okay. Hopefully this is making it a little bit easier for you. If not, you can always show all your work and get to your final answer that way. Let's try one that looks a little bit different. Look at this. Do you see what's different about this inequality? There's variables on both sides here, okay? But we're not going to focus on that right now. We're going to type this in just like it was an equation. So when it's variables on both sides, we're typing both sides in. Let's type in our other side, hit enter. And then just like we did equations, we would type m equals. And we want both of these triangles to come up to the same exact thing, okay? And we want them to be equivalent. So we have either -1, let's try. Does -5 and -11 match? Nope. Let's try +1. Look at that. Both of these 17s match. So I can get rid of everything that does not have a 1. Okay? So let's get rid of all the answer choices that are not +1. This goes away, and letter C goes away. So now our final answer can either be B or D. But we have to figure out, are we flipping our sign or are we not flipping our sign? So when we're doing this, I like to keep my variable in the front of my inequality. The term with the variable, let's keep it in the front. So we have to combine this here, 14m, with 11m. And for me to move this across my river right here, the opposite of positive 14m is negative 14m. And whatever we do to one side, remember, we have to do it to the other. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. And this is the only step we have to do when we're using our desmos, because this is all we need for it. Okay? Now in your desmos, I'll do it in mine too. Let's do 11 minus 14. 11 minus 14. We get a -3m. So you see? So my final term with the variable here will be -3m. So if I solve this entire inequality, at the end, I'm going to have -3m, an inequality sign, and another number over here. Okay, so at the end, I'm going to end up having to get rid of this -3 that's beside my m. Side by side, just divide by the number on the side. I'll be dividing by -3. When we multiply or divide by a negative number on both sides, we have to flip our sign. So we're going to flip this sign here. So my sign is going to look like this, and then we'll find our answer. Which one has the sign flipped, either B or D? I think it's B. Our answer is B. You see how we got that in our Desmos, and all we had to do was figure out if our sign is going to flip. And we did that by combining our like terms. Okay, so we have another one on our screen that looks very similar to our last one. I want everyone to pause your screens, and I want you to see if you're able to do this on your own, and then press play and see if you did the steps correctly, okay? So let's talk about this. If you're listening to me talk now, that means you already have the answer, or you attempted to get the answer, right? All right. So let's see. I'm going to look at this. I have a variable on both sides. So I'm going to type both sides into my Desmos. Okay. And remember, I only do it this way if it's multiple choice like this, and all my answer choices have inequality signs in them. Okay. So let's type 54b plus 64. I see my sign, so I hit enter. And then I type 49b plus 59. Enter. My letter is B. Okay, so I put B equals. Let's see what the answer could be. Let's try -3. Remember, we're trying for these to be equal. Okay, we want both sides to be equal. We're looking at this like we were solving an equation in Desmos. Next one, -1. All right, so I know that it's -1 because both sides equal 10. So let's cross out everything that is not -1. So the answer either has to be B or C, but we have to figure out, do we flip our sign or not? I have to move this positive 49b over to this 54b to combine them because I only want to look at one term with a variable, okay? The opposite of plus 49b is minus 49b. So you'll do that to one side. That means you have to do it to the other side. Okay. Minus 49b. And then you can go to your calculator and let's see, does that give us a positive number or a negative number? 54 minus 49. It gives me a positive 5. So my final answer right here is 5B. So look at this. It's a positive beside my variable, so I do not flip my sign. My sign is staying the same. So let's see, do we pick B or D? The answer is D because the sign stays the same. All right. Hopefully this is making it easier for you. If you prefer to show your work, go for it. Okay, this is just a method that makes life a little bit easier for you. So now take a look at this. This is something a little bit different. Okay, and we're going to do this different. You see how there's no inequality signs in our answers? They're just listed numbers, right? All numbers, no inequality signs. So we're going to do this just like this here. Okay, always make sure your calculator is cleared out when you start a new question. All right. So when we type this out, we're actually going to look at the sign and figure out what does this sign mean because we're going to need that. Okay. But let's just start by typing 3F plus 4, enter. Now we have to think about what this sign means. Look at this. Is the alligator, look at the alligator mouth. It's my alligator mouth. Is it eating the side I just typed in? Is it eating this side here? It is not. So that means it's smaller or it's less than. But to keep it in your language, it's easier to just say it's smaller. Okay? It's smaller than. And we're going to type all of this out because we're looking for solutions. So that's the difference here. Okay? And then we're going to put the number 10 right here. Okay, so we type in both sides, and in the middle, we just type in what the sign means. Okay, and so when we're doing it, we're looking for the solution, which means what makes this true. So watch me. We have an F. We're going to type F equals. Let's try our first answer choice, the number 2. Okay, so now let's read it. It's 10. It's the answer we got here. We're going to read it like a sentence. 10 is smaller than 10. Is that true? No, it is not. So that cannot be a solution. Let's try 0. Okay, we can cross 2 out. So let's try 0. Let's look at our answer. Is 4 is smaller than 10. Is that true? Yes, 4 is smaller than 10. So let's circle that one. Let's try 3 now. 3. Our answer is 13. 13 is smaller than 10. Is that true? No. Let's cross that out. Let's try lastly 4. Is 16 smaller than 10? Nope. So the only solution that we have here could be 0 because 0 makes this side over here smaller than 10. Let's try another one. Go ahead and clear out your calculators if you were doing this with me. Clear it out. And let's start by typing 13 minus 5G. You see how the answer choices are listed again like this? There's no inequality signs in our answers. So we know that we have to go the extra step in our desmos, okay? We have to actually type out the whole thing and what the sign means. So hit enter, we get to the sign. The alligator is eating this side. So is this side bigger than or smaller than this side? It's bigger. The alligator eats the biggest side. So we're going to say is bigger, or you can say is greater. It's bigger, as it's easier for you guys to understand if you use the words bigger or smaller. But also it has this line underneath the sign. What does that mean? Equal to. So it says is bigger or equal. And then let's type 33. That's what's on that side. All right. So let's start by typing our answer choices. We have G equals, because we have the letter G in our inequality up here. So G equals, let's try -3. Okay. So look at that. 28. 28, is that bigger than 33? No. Is it equal to 33? No. So -3 cannot be a solution. Okay, let's try -6. We have 43. You see, is 43 bigger than 33? Yep, we can stop right there and circle -6. That is a possible solution because it makes our inequality true. So if they ask you for explanation, you can say -6 is a solution because 43 is bigger than 33. So let's try 0. We get 13. Is 13 bigger than 33? No. Is 13 equal to 33? No. So 0 cannot be a solution. Let's try 9. We get -32 right here. Is -32 bigger than 33? Nope. Is it equal to 33? No. Lastly, let's try -12. -12. We get 73. Is 73 bigger than 33? Yes. So that is a solution. Okay. Go ahead and pause my screen and try this one on your own. Once you are done, press play and I will keep going along and see if you get it right. So we're going to start by typing the whole thing in because, as we said before, our answer choices down here do not have the inequality sign in them. So I'm going to type it out. Enter. My alligator is not eating this side, so it is smaller than or equal to. It's smaller or equal. Okay. Enter. And then I have 28. Enter. All right. My variable is y. So let's try y equals 1. Is 28 smaller than 28? No. Is 28 equal to 28? Yes. So 1 is actually a solution. All right. It would not be if the equal sign wasn't in our inequality sign over here. Okay. But since it is an answer. Let's put number 2. Is 48 smaller than 28? No. Is 48 equal to 28? Nope. Okay, get rid of that. Let's try 0. We have 8. You see? 8. Is 8 smaller than 28? Yep, that is a solution. And lastly, let's try number 3. 68. Is 68 smaller than 28? Nope. Is 68 equal to 28? Nope. So over here we have our two solutions and we are done with this. All right. Let's look at this one. This time we have variables on both sides, but we're still going to follow the same steps. We're going to clear out our calculators and do it like an equation. However, we're still typing it what the inequality sign means, and we're reading it to see if it's true. Okay. So it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. Okay, we're not trying to get both sides equal. We're trying to read what it means to see if it's actually true. So let's see, 6 minus 4k, enter. Is my alligator eating that side? Let's see. My alligator mouth, there we go. It's eating, and it is not eating this side. So that means that side is smaller. So let's put it smaller, or you can put is less than. That's the mathematical word for it. And then we have 1 plus k equals. And my variable is k, so let's put k equals. All right. So let's try number 1. 1. Now let's read this. 2 is smaller than, what's the other answer? 2. Is that true? No. 2 is equal to 2, but we don't have the word equal to over here. And we don't have a line under our inequality sign over here, so that is not it. Cross out number 1. That cannot be it. Let's try 9. K equals 9. So we have -30. -30 is smaller than +10. That is true. So let's circle that. That could be a solution. All right, let's try our next one. 6. -18 is smaller than 7. That is true. 6 is also a solution. Now let's try 0. It says 6. We're looking at our answer here. 6 is smaller than 1. Is that true? No, not true. Lastly, let's try -4. We get 22 is smaller than -3. Is that true? Nope. So we have our solutions over here. Okay? Our solution could be 9 and it could be 6 because it makes this side over here smaller than this side over here when you plug them in. Let's try this one here together. Okay? So make sure you're typing in your decimals as well, just as I am. We're going to type both sides in. When we see the inequality sign, we hit enter and we type out what it means. What kind of sign is this? What does this mean? Is the alligator eating this side? Remember, if you want to go ahead of me, pause the screen. Do the whole question. See if you're able to get it right. And then press play and listen to me to see if you got it right. Okay? So this alligator is eating this side, so that means this side is bigger. And there's also a line under here, or equal to -2w. Remember, we only show all this work in our decimals like this when we write out what everything means and all of that if our answer choices do not have inequality signs in them. If they're just numbers listed, you have to do this to figure it out. Okay, if you don't want to have to show all your work and then read it and all of that, you could just do it in decimals. So now let's put W equals, let's try 0. -16 is bigger than 0 right here? No, 0 is not the answer. Let's try -1. Okay, is -18 bigger than 2? No. Is it equal to 2? Nope. Let's try +12. You see our answer here, 8. Is 8 bigger than -24? No. Is it equal to -24? Nope. Let's try -3. -22. Is that bigger than +6? No. Is it equal to +6? Nope. Let's try +4. Is -8 bigger than -8? Nope. Is -8 equal to -8? Yep. So 4 is one of our solutions. Okay. Now let's try -19. Is -54 bigger than +38? No. Is it equal to +38? No. So on this one, we only have one possible solution, and it is +4. Okay, and let's try it one more time. It is +4 because -8 is equal to -8. This is the final one we're going to do together in Desmos. Okay, you guys? So go ahead and pause the screen for real this time and do it on your own. I know it's a lot of numbers up here and it can be confusing and frustrating, but Desmos does all the work. All you have to know is what that sign means. Okay? You have to type that part in, right? Or you'll get your answers wrong. Go ahead and pause my screen like I said. Try to do it on your own. Press play when you're done. Then you follow along with me to see if you got it right. So I'm just going to start typing my stuff in. 8H. My alligator is not eating the side I just typed in, so that means it's smaller or is less than. You can put less than, is less, or is smaller. Either one. Okay? And then you just type in the other side. Enter. And let's type H equals. I'm going to go through this very quickly. H equals 6. 72 is smaller than 72. Nope, it is equal. And there's no equal sign in here. So that can't be it. Let's try 8. 88 is smaller than 90. Yep, so 8 is an answer. Okay. Let's try 0. 24 is smaller than 18. Nope. Let's try 22. 200 is smaller than 216. That is true. 22 is a solution. Let's try 3. 48 is smaller than 45. Nope, not true. 5. 64 is smaller than 63. Nope, not true. -4. -8 is smaller than -18. Nope, not true. Okay. All right, you guys, I moved very quickly on that last one because you should have went ahead of me and did it. Now, if you went ahead of me and you got it right, you picked 8 and 22 to be the solutions. Great job. Give yourself a pat on the back. I am so very proud of you. All right. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you have not already. See you guys next time.